Hi there, and welcome to the EWC. There are millions upon millions of affordable wristwatch options out there on the market, so it can be super difficult to distinguish, especially for beginners, which ones are any good and which ones you should absolutely avoid. And so today I've compiled my top 7 bargains for affordable wristwatches under $200 that you should consider, whether you're a beginner or just looking for a nice, affordable piece to add to your collection. Before we get in, I just want to make clear that I maintain my integrity as an independent watch channel. What this means that I am not sponsored by any of the brands shown on this list. It also means that I have personally experienced every single watch on this list. I have either owned these watches, currently own these watches, or have handled these watches before. And so I can tell you with my true opinion what I think about these watches and why you should absolutely consider them as an addition to your collection. So let's get right into the list. Number 1, hail the mighty Seiko. Specifically, let's have a look at the Seiko 5 line. The Seiko 5 line was created by Seiko as an affordable entryway into the world of mechanical watches. In fact, I'm wearing my Seiko 5 right now, and this was my very first mechanical timepiece. These Seiko 5s really do offer a whole lot of value in small packages, especially with that name on the dial. A lot of people unjustly dismiss Seiko as just another one of those cheap watch manufacturers, but that's not true. There's a reason why so many watch enthusiasts choose Grand Seiko over Rolex. They have a long history of quality and of innovation. Let's have a look at the 60s, when Seiko had 2 main factories, Grand Seiko and King Seiko. These 2 factories competed for dominance, not just within the Seiko name, but in the entire world. It was during this time that Seiko produced some of the most accurate timepieces. Then into the 1970s, when the quartz crisis struck, what happened? Seiko flourished. They did not suffer because they invented quartz technology. Seiko took this opportunity to manufacture affordable and extremely accurate watches while also experimenting with other lines of watches, such as growing the Seiko 5 line. If you want further proof of Seiko's prestige, have a look at Hollywood. You'll see in many of Arnold Schwarzenegger's movies, for instance, he's sporting a Seiko. Even James Bond himself wears Seikos. In the Roger Moore era, you'll see him wearing some Seiko watches. Really, there is a whole lot of value to the Seiko name, especially in the Seiko 5 line. The Seiko 5 line offers a plethora of options in different cases and finishes, dials, styles, many of which are well under $200. So I definitely recommend that you have a look at the Seiko 5 line. Some of my favorites are this one right here, the SNX S79 and the SNK 809. I look forward to hearing all about your adventures with the Seiko 5s. Number 2, don't dismiss the power of Casio. It is true that Casio focuses primarily on the low-end segment of the market, but there's no rival to Casio's amazing value for money. Think about the pure number of complications that you can get for well under $100. Stopwatches, alarms, timers, world time, calendars, and even calculators. All of this can be readily available in affordable quartz timepieces. Additionally, Japanese innovation has brought us G-Shock technology. These are watches that are made to be bashed around, smashed, vigorously beaten in accidents, and still keep on running. All of this of the Casio name can be offered to you for as low as $20 with the Casio F91W. You can also consider the CA53W calculator watch as worn by Marty McFly in Back to the Future. You can look at the World Time Casio watches as well, which can be had at around $35. And as for G-Shocks, pick up the DW5600, which can be available from as low as $75. All of this is just incredible value from Casio. Number 3, forget about batteries and get a Citizen. Many of Citizen's watches offer amazing value for money if you can get them at the right price. Take a look at Citizen's lineup and you'll find watches with many different styles, functions, and prices, so you're sure to find a watch that fits your needs. Citizen is another Japanese manufacturer that has built up a strong name for itself over the years. For instance, Citizen's ProMaster divers are famously the choices of Italy's Marina Militare. That is my number one choice for you if you're looking for an entry-level dive watch. Take a look at Citizen's Quartz ProMaster divers, whose eco-drive technology will mean you don't have to replace the battery for 30 years. These divers can be readily found under $200, which is an excellent price point. If you're into flight watches, you could check out the Citizen Navihawk as well. This one offers a 24-hour indicator and a slide roll bezel, and is also under $200 if you can find it at the right price. So, Citizen does offer these great watches, so I do encourage you to check them out. Some other great picks include their dress watches and their chronographs. Number 4, have some fun with Swatch. Finally, we can have a break from looking at all those Japanese watch manufacturers, and let's have a look at the one Swiss manufacturer that made the list. The Swatch brand of watches was a response by the Swatch Group to the rise of affordable, fashion-forward quartz watches in the 1980s. Swatch focuses on creating affordable Swiss-made movements encased in fun, fashionable designs. But wait, doesn't that mean Swatch is technically a fashion watch company? Yes and no. The important distinguishing feature of Swatch among other fashion watch brands is the remarkable quality and history behind the brand. Swatch doesn't start in the 1980s. They start way before, drawing on all the other brands of the Swatch Group. And so they have that expertise to ensure the quality of their movements and of their watches. Additionally, remember that Swatch is an amalgamation of second-hand watch, meaning that a Swatch watch shouldn't be the only watch in your collection, but it can be a fun addition or a great entryway into the world of watch collecting. I personally started with a Swatch watch and then moved on to collecting more classic and standard timepieces. Swatch offers amazing value with their quartz timepieces and their quartz chronographs, which can be readily found under $100. You can also take a look at their System 51 line of mechanical watches. This remarkable feat of engineering assembles mechanical movements with only 51 parts, all by machine. So have a look at those if you want a mechanical piece, Swiss made, under $200. Go have some fun. Number 5, you can't go wrong with a classic Timex. Timex is a good old American watch company that has been making watches for over 150 years. Timex really flourished during the latter half of the 20th century, during which they made many affordable mechanical timepieces as well as mastered quartz technology, making tasteful options as well as durable watches like the Iron Man series. Today, Timex continues to produce affordable quality quartz timepieces, such as the Timex Expedition, Expedition Chronograph, Waterbury Chronograph, and Weekender Chronograph. All great options in my opinion if you want a nice piece to either start off or add to a growing watch collection. The great thing about Timex is that all of these options can be readily found at or around $100, which means you won't have to pull out a whole lot of money to get into watch collecting. Choose a piece with Timex's patented Indiglow technology, and you can see the dial light up in the darkness, which is an amazing way of being able to read the time in the dark. So do consider a Timex. Number 6, get amazing value with Orient. Now we are returning to the Japanese sector of the market again, but that's because Orient has been such a shining star in these past few years. Orient is a Japanese watch manufacturer that has been part of the Seiko group for many years now. So Orient has a lot of history and expertise in manufacturing quality timepieces in-house. Orient offers amazing value for money with their mechanical pieces. Take a look at the Bambino line if you want something dressy or everyday. They offer great looks and a plethora of dial design options and styles and colors for you to choose from. If you want a dive watch, take a look at the Mako 2 and Ray 2 watches. Those offer mechanical movements with 200 meters of water resistance and classic dive designs. All of that can be found under $200, so it's a great way to get into the watch collecting hobby, especially if you're looking for a mechanical timepiece. Something to consider though is that Orient does have several different generations of their watches, so make sure you take a look at the one that has the style look you're looking for, as well as the movement and specifications that you're looking for. Number 7, if you must go fashion, go Fossil. In my personal experience, Fossil actually offers decent quartz watches at reasonable prices. I know a lot of people are going to be super against buying from Fossil because they are a fashion watch brand. Their mechanical movements aren't the best quality, and some of their designs aren't that nice. But many of their watches really do offer great value for money. I personally own a Fossil watch, and I have many friends who own Fossil watches as well. We've had them for several years now, and they have stood the test of time, keeping up in quality and in durability. They do prove themselves to be decently built and, in fact, decently pleasing to the eye as well. I personally recommend buying chronographs because they offer the best value for money. Take a look at the Grant chronograph line as well as some of their other more tasteful chronographs. At a sale price of $60, there really is no beating that impeccable level of affordability. So, do consider Fossil if you really want to go fashion and if you want to pick out a specific design that works well for you. Not to mention the fact that many of their leather straps are actually quite nice. All in all, I hope that you now have many ideas of what watches to buy under $200. Whether you're a beginner just starting out or an experienced watch collector looking to add an affordable timepiece to your collection. Let's go over a quick recap. We have watches from Seiko, Casio, Citizen, Swatch, Timex, Orient, and Fossil. Before we end off, I just want to remind you of our channel integrity. First, I am not sponsored by any of these watch companies or by watch dealers. And second, I've personally experienced all of these watches. That means I've either owned them or I have handled them in the flesh. That way I know what I'm recommending to you, and I know that you will make a good purchase if you go with any of these brands. So, tell me, do you think there's something that I missed on this list? Do you think that there is something that should not be on this list? And tell me all about your experience as beginners and with affordable watches. I'd like to hear all that in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon. Thank you very much for watching the Everyday Watch Collector. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel to help others find our videos as well. It really means a lot to me personally and goes a long way to helping the channel grow. Cheers.